Donald Trump is feeling the heat. New York Times had a story this weekend saying the protests are really getting to him under his skin. Well, our next guest plans on getting under his skin and getting under that fake hair of his as well. Joining us right now, the president of the North Carolina State Conference of the NAACP, Reverend William Barber. Dr. Barber, my alpha brother, what's up?
What's up, 06? And I don't know what to say to Tom, but what up, Tom?
so Reverend Barber, y'all have the Moral Mondays, the annual march on Saturday. And for folks who don't understand what's taking place on Saturday, this anniversary march really was what kicked all of this thing off a number of years ago.
That's right. It's a People's Assembly. It's a march, and People's Assembly. It's a time when we get focused for the fight. It's not just a one-time march, but this year we're focusing on standing against healthcare, repeal of healthcare, because about 3 to 4 million people would be hurt in North Carolina, about 1.5 million people with pre-existing conditions, including my own daughter. We're standing against our General Assembly holding up, redoing the lines. You know, we won in court that they were supposed to redraw the lines, and we would have a special election. They still have not done that yet. And we're standing with our Muslim brothers and sisters. Excuse me. We're also standing for just for what is right, what is just. We're making our plans for what we're going to do in terms of civil disobedience in the future, how we're going to march on these congressional offices when they're in their home districts. So this is the place to be. All roads lead to the Moral March on Raleigh. Begins at 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, right on the campus of Shaw University in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Politico did a story this weekend, and they talked about could this very well be a template, they said, for Democrats, but I said they got the headline wrong. I corrected on social media. This is an issue-driven movement that's focusing through a moral prism. That's different from a democratic or political movement.
Exactly. It's about moral analysis, moral articulation, moral activism. It's about staying with it, not just having one event. You know, we've been with this for 11 years. We started when Democrats were in office. We saw a major victory this year. Trumpism could not come all the way down in North Carolina because we had this movement of black and white and brown and gay and straight, and even 11% Republicans who stood with us against extremism. And so we're also marching against Trumpism this year. But some people don't get it. They think that you just have a march. We have a legal strategy, an organizing strategy. We have a civil disobedience strategy, and about 32 states I've traveled to this year where other people are starting to see if you do not build intentionally, indigenously led, diverse, morally, constitutionally, anti-racist, anti-poverty, pro-justice fusion movements in these states, you cannot make a difference. But if you do, Dr. King told us in '61 that this could happen. We've been in Georgia, we've been in Alabama, we've been in Kansas. People are starting to understand that it can't be a party movement. It must be a moral movement that reframes the entire issue. Some things, Roland, are not about left and right, Democrat versus Republican. It's about right versus wrong. And we also, in our movement, understand you have to deal with race and class, not just race or not just class. You have to bring both of those together and organize in that way.
Reverend Barber, can you please, again, tell the story of our audience when you were at a parade in 2014 when a redneck approached you?
Yeah. Well, what actually has happened, we have been able to organize in places you would not think. Mitchell County, that's 99% white, 89% Republican. We're organizing. They actually built 7 new branches of the NAACP in an area we never thought about. In another place, we were fighting for health care, and this white guy actually had a Confederate hat on, came up to me and says, you know, I've been misunderstanding this all the while. He didn't realize that when he was standing against the Affordable Care, or as he called Obamacare, he was hurting his own rural hospital that was being closed because our state would not expand health care. A lot of people didn't know that. They thought it was just about Obama. They didn't realize that 346,000 people that were being hurt by denying Medicaid were white and 140,000 were black. What we've done in our movement is say you have to bring that together because the Southern strategy, as you know, Roland, is built on lies and deception, code words to keep blacks and whites and brown people from working together, because if you ever build that kind of fusion coalition in places like North Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, and Alabama, and Texas and Virginia, you actually can turn the South. And if you turn the South, you can turn the nation. And so we're saying, you come to the march on Saturday, you'll see probably 45, 50% of the people there will be white. It'll be white and black and all of us coming together around not just an event, but around a commitment to engage morally. Let me just, one of the things we say to people...
And this is important for our audience. Yes. You are using Saturday to also capture data, not just to have people come out and walk.
That's exactly right. They'll get a plan, they'll get data, they'll understand what's going on, and we give folk marching orders. You cannot march one time and have transformation. You have to stay in there and fight and fight and fight.
And how do we get more information about the Moral March?
Go to the NCNAACP website, NCNAACP website, hashtag moral resistance, but go to NCNAACP.
Kickstart your day at 7 and get the news you need from the perspective you want. NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.